smash that like button and subscribe. Let's go. The first thing we're going to talk about is obviously the delivery report of Tesla's Q4 of 2023. It was about 484,507 deliveries and almost 495,000 in production. Overall, this year in 2023, Tesla has delivered almost 1.81 million vehicles, which is about a 35 or 38% year-over-year growth since 2022, and production almost 1.85 million. And the delivery rate was almost 98%. So literally they are selling every vehicle that they make. Now, yes, they have cut prices, but the fact that they are selling it and the COGS per vehicle is going down, that is a sheesh moment. And another sheesh moment is that Tesla has sold almost 5.5 million vehicles in the entirety of Tesla has ever been, born, ever been, founded. So 5.5 million vehicles, and 33% of that just happened in 2023. If that's not a sheesh moment, then I don't know what is. It's going to be crazy. 2024, I'm predicting about closer to almost 2.3 million deliveries. So we're going to see almost 8 million vehicle deliveries almost in 2020, end of 2024, beginning of 2025. So that is crazy. Now, with a great news like this, there's always a lot of FUD that comes towards Tesla. FUD loves Tesla because it gets a lot of clicks. And Elon is that BYD, for the first time ever on a quarterly basis, have sold more electric vehicles than Tesla. And yes, I did more digging and this is true, but this isn't a big deal because Tesla is still 3 to 4 times more profitable than BYD. So it's not that big of a deal that BYD sells more vehicles than Tesla. The fact that BYD has caught up now is impressive to Tesla because average selling price for BYD is half of Tesla's. So the fact that Tesla's selling double the average selling price of BYD's and they were in the lead for so many years, just now it's a sheesh moment. And watch what's going to happen once Tesla brings the compact car, the 25,000 vehicle. And then we'll see what's going to happen then. But that was pretty much the news of the week, but there is other important things that happened this week. I'll get to that in a bit. I do want to bring up the Cybertruck because this is now the 7th wave of invites that Tesla is sending out for the Cybertruck Foundation series. So they are trying to push as many of them out. And the fact that, the 7th wave, so they're producing nicely. And the thing with the Cybertruck is that it's the most American truck ever made. Check out the stats. 90% of the parts are from North America, with 65% of them is from the US and Canada, compared to an F-150, only 38% of it is from the US and Canada. So really, if you're an American and you hate the Cybertruck and you hate Tesla, this vehicle couldn't get any more American. So be proud of that, man. Come on. And speaking about the F-150 Lightning, they increased the prices $10,000. So hold on a second. They cut production about 50%, and then they increased the price about $10,000. It sounds like they're trying to get more margins from it. They're trying to milk their customers in a way. Very interesting. While Tesla is trying to reduce prices as much as they can, the F-150 Lightning is worth more than the Cybertruck, but they're still increasing prices and they are slashing the supply of that by 50%. It really looks like they're trying to make money on EVs because, let's face it, Ford is not making money on EVs. So they're trying their best to figure out a way to do it. And I guess this is the way that they're doing it. Slash your supply by half and increase prices because, supply and demand, right? So it's a very interesting move. It's very noticeable of what they're doing. Very interesting. Speaking of other car companies and other trucks, Rivian, their delivery report shows lower sales. And now you can get a Rivian in about 1 to 2 weeks. So the demand for Rivian has gone down in the fourth quarter, where pretty much is the strongest quarter for any automotive company. So this is a concern for Rivian. If this was in Q3, Q2, or even Q1, it wouldn't really have mattered. But this was in Q4, guys. In Q4, again, it's naturally a strong quarter for all automakers. So the fact that in Q4, it was lower sales, lower deliveries, and now you can get a Rivian in up to 1 to 2 weeks, something doesn't make sense here. I wish the best of luck to them though, but and they're not making any money either, so this is a red flag for me. In good and awesome news, Samsung partners with Tesla on energy management for smart homes. Pretty much what this is that it's going to connect Samsung smart things onto Tesla products like Powerwall, solar, wall charging, and so on and so forth. That means if you're a Samsung nerd, like kind of like what I am, I don't have any Apple products, it's all Samsung. And if you have the product of smart things, you can connect your wall charger, your Powerwall, solars, all that kind of stuff with Tesla products, which is very convenient. In other awesome news, Alex on X made a post pretty much saying that Elon Musk does deliver on all the products that he mentioned, although it got delayed so many times, but at the end he delivers. And Elon Musk reposted that, saying there's more products to come. Sheesh. So that's going to be a very interesting thing. Personally, for me, if you guys ask me, the compact model of Tesla is only going to be a series. It's going to start off with the 25,000, and then there's going to be, different versions of that. So one could be as low as 20,000, one could be as high as 30,000. Later on down the line, one could be even below 20,000, depending what inflation says at that time. So definitely great news coming from Elon saying there's going to be more products. That is very bullish. Rumor is circulating around that the Model Y refresh is pretty much almost finished. And at the picture, a lot of people are saying this is fake. But I don't know, comment down below. Do you guys think this picture is fake? Personally, for me, I'm not surprised if they're done or almost done right now. Because again, this is the best-selling vehicle in the world and the flagship for Tesla. I do see this as extremely high priority for Tesla to get it done as soon as possible. So is this picture fake? I don't know. You tell me in the comments below. Now, speaking about the Model Y refresh, Model 3 refresh Highland hasn't hit North America yet. Apparently, Fremont is about to launch the M3 refresh, and we do see a lot of pictures coming out of the factory, being test driven, all that kind of good stuff, like we saw with Shanghai. So it looks like it's very imminent. Within the next month or two, we're going to see the Model 3 refresh coming in North America. And guess what? They're going to be eligible for the EV credit because everything is American, the batteries and all that kind of stuff. Tesla supercharger stations have hit 55,000 globally, which is absolutely insane. By 2027, we should be at 100,000. This is absolutely insane. Tesla, and I'm going to say it again, is a gas station for electric vehicles. Done. I don't care what all the bears say and all the FUD makers say. That's what Tesla is in the electric and the EV space. They are the gas stations of the electric vehicles. That's all I'm going to say. In Tesla Shanghai, a new Tesla comes off the Giga Shanghai factory line every 39.6 seconds. I think this is the fastest car ever built, being produced that fast ever. That is, again, a sheesh moment. Moving on to Megapacks, because there are some news there, is Tesla reduces the price of Megapack energy storage by about 2%, which is about $42,500. Most likely it's because the lithium prices have come down, and that makes Tesla to sell them at a much higher margin because the cost is going down. And because of that, because Tesla does bring prices down, always passes on the cost savings to the customer. They've always done this. That's why they do price cuts, and they will always do this. Tesla will always do this. If they see a lower costing in their products, they will continue to bring prices down, trying their best to maintain the margin. I know for vehicles, they've gone way past that, but that's because of high interest rates and people not just getting any vehicles. But this will change once interest rate gets cut. So that's why I think they're reducing the price of the Megapack. Nonetheless, this automatically slowly increases demand for it too. And again, it doesn't impact their margins if the cost is going lower. So that's a sheesh flipping moment. Not to mention, guys, they are benefiting from economy of scale in Lathrop factory that they build these Megapacks. So if they're scaling, they get benefit from economy of scale. They see prices of lithium going down. So every Megapack becomes cheaper to manufacture, and they pass on the savings to the customers. Moving on to full self-driving FSD with Tesla is that there are rumors going out there that FSD V12 may be coming out for all customers, all Tesla customers, by end of January. Now, I don't know if there's any strong merit to it. The post or the source did say that's what their opinion is, but let's see what happens. But FSD in beta in China looks like it's going to flip and happen very, very soon. And this is a sheesh moment because aside from the United States, man, China is the second most place with Teslas. So if you can get FSD beta drivers there and get them to pay $200 a month, that's going to increase Tesla's average selling price higher, bring the margins higher, bring the sales higher, bring the profits even higher. Overall, it's a very, very bullish move for Tesla, and I'm very, very looking forward to that. And if you want to go with the bullish news, end off this weekly Tesla news at a bullish news, not bearish news, bullish news, is that Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen says what we are seeing now, I think we can describe as a soft landing, which is absolutely amazing. If the US can really pull off a soft landing, that is such a bullish move. That means we can avoid a massive recession. I don't think we're going to avoid a recession entirely. I do think there's going to be a mini one, just a mini one that will last very shortly, extremely shortly. But this would mean interest rates will come down slowly. Equities will benefit more. The thing is, we don't want to be in an environment where interest rates get slashed very, very hard, because that means we're in a recession. We want to be in an environment where the interest rates get slashed slowly and gradually, so we can avoid a massive recession but be in a decent market environment. And in return, that is good news for equity. So that is a sheesh moment. But again, we'll see how things go. My opinion, I do think we are going to see a soft landing, meaning a very, very small recession sometime in 2024, maybe in 3-4 months time. But we are in 2024, in 3-4 months time. I don't think it's gonna be that bad, but who knows? But that's all the news for week 1 of 2024. There was some minor news, like for example, there's new colors now, stealthy gray and ultra red for the Model Y, and some other ones that weren't that major to the ones that I presented to you guys today. Let's get week 2 down and under with. Starting off with the one and only, the Cybertruck. This is the 8th week that Tesla has been sending mass invites for the Cybertruck for the Foundation series. So they're going to continue with that, and they're pumping out as much as they can to deliver their 2 million pre-order of Cybertrucks. So this is only just the beginning. Sheesh moment already. But what isn't a sheesh moment is that Tesla is now lowering prices in China, which is it's not good. That is not good at all. We thought we were done with price cuts, but China has reduced their Model Y by 6%. And that's a lot. But at the same time, in the US, they increased the price of the Model Y 7-seater of $500 to $3,000. So, you know, price cuts down, price cuts up some places, but majority of it, price cuts down is taking more of a hit. There's more cuts than ups. So that is not a good thing. However, though, we do know that COGS is going down per every vehicle that Tesla makes, especially now that when they're ramping extremely at capacity in Shanghai. So they have this margin to go lower. And as well as every quarter, COGS per each vehicle continues to go down. So cutting costs for Tesla is a normal thing until we go to low interest rates. The reason why there is a lot of price cuts is because of high interest rates. So as soon as we have low interest rates, we could expect prices to stay the same or go up a bit as demand naturally comes back, especially in the automotive sector. Speaking of Tesla cutting prices, they're cutting speakers on the Model Y from 13 to 7, and that's gonna help bring down the cost a little bit. It looks like what Tesla's trying to do is that they're trying to find ways to cut costs so they can reduce the price even more and sell as many as possible. I mean, 13 speakers in a car is a lot of speakers. So if they can get the same efficiency or even the same experience or even better experience with 7, why not just do that? Now, on the news that Tesla's demand is collapsing, in 2023, Tesla's market share has increased from 3.8% to 4.2%. So Tesla is continuing to take market share year over year, quarter over quarter. This idea that EVs are dying, I don't know about that. I would do more research on that, especially when EV prices are almost the same as ICE vehicles on average. EVs go for a little bit under $51,000. ICE vehicles go below $49,000. I mean, look at that graph. Look at that EV line going down heavily, and this will continue to go down, by the way, because lithium is getting cheaper and economy of scale and just so many other components and the things that we need to build the batteries and the parts and all that kind of stuff is being found everywhere, and they're cheaper than we think. And Tesla's, on the average, is just around $50,000. So imagine that a day will come where the EVs will go lower than the ICE vehicles in this chart. I mean, the day is very close by. If we are not below the ICE line here or below 49,000 by end of 2024, I'm going to be shocked. So that's all I'm going to say with prices and the average. EVs are the future. I'm telling you guys, EVs are the flippin' future. All the data points to that. I don't care what anybody says. If they say otherwise, they don't know much about EVs. Model Y continues to conquer Earth by becoming the best-selling vehicle in Switzerland and in many other places and Australia. And apparently now Australia's favorite car is the Model Y. Sheesh moment. Now moving on to some bad news, guys. This is some really serious bad news. And honestly, I wish I took the Tesla Bears, the TSLA Q's advice, because Hertz is now selling majority of their EV fleet. A majority of that is Teslas. I'm sorry, guys. I thought Teslas were. I thought people wanted Tesla to rent out Teslas, but apparently, I'm sorry. Man, snap out of it, man. Let's see what the facts are, because the facts say otherwise. So the fact is, yes, Hertz is selling about 20,000 Model 3s at the price of about $15,000, which is absolutely insane. Man, I wish I was in the US. I swear, man. I would pick one up without even hesitating. That 15,000 for a Model 3, for a robot car that doesn't need maintenance. Bruh, that's just absurd. I think Hertz is gonna look back at this and go like, this was a mistake. I mean, this was a mistake. But let's see why they're selling it. The fact is, they're selling it because it's due to higher expenses related to collision and damage. And because of that, they're gonna opt in for more gas-powered vehicles. Are they though? Or is just the media trying to spin it the way they want the narrative to be? Let's dig deeper, shall we? Because it's not just the mainstream media who's, trying to push this narrative. It's also Morgan Stanley saying that EV expectation need to be reset downwards. I don't know. This sounds a bit of a FUD maker because things are not looking aligned. Anyways, the CEO of Hertz went on CNBC and hear what he had to say.
Well, I think, look, we took a bold move and are making a strategic adjustment to our fleet to take 20,000 electric vehicles out of the fleet. It's really to respond to the reality, which is we're trying to bring supply in line with demand, and we're addressing a cost issue that happens to be related to the EVs in the context of damage and damage costs. That's what it is. But in the end, this is about the numbers. It's about the financial performance and the operational depreciation. But we're experiencing the consequence of a material price decline in Teslas, but in EVs more generally. So at the beginning of this year, when Tesla took down the price of their cars, residual price falls, depreciation goes up. That's obviously a cost to the business. And depreciation, that's out of our control, but you need to react to it, and we're reacting to it.
So that's interesting.
Aha. Did you guys catch that? The CEO of Hertz is saying because of depreciation. Guys, as you guys know, Tesla has reduced the prices of Tesla, especially the Model 3 and the Model Y, heavily in 2023. So when Hertz bought these vehicles all the way in 2021 at the peak price, and now they're trying to sell it now, the depreciation is crazy. Just look at the prices of Model 3 since 2021 till now. It's a massive difference. So they got hit big time with depreciation.
You know, Carl, the one thing I would say is that at some point, the reality of EVs and Teslas being the best-selling car will at some point render them the best rental car. It's not yet.
That will for sure happen in due time.
We're in the business of giving consumers choice. We're including in that choice electric vehicles. And there is a significant component of our customer set that are still paying us a premium for these. It's just not at the level of demand that we anticipated.
Did you guys catch that? Hertz CEO just said that there's a significant amount of customers that do pay a premium to drive these Tesla vehicles. Essentially saying that this market is growing and there's a lot of people who are willing to pay a premium to drive EVs or rent out the EVs. However, though, they bought too many vehicles in the beginning. 20,000 was a lot. I think they ordered about 100,000 vehicles. That was a bit too much for them, and they're gonna scale back so they can have that demand and supply to be filled. I guarantee you guys, from 5 years from now, that majority of Hertz inventory or Hertz rental cars will be all EVs. That's all I'm saying right now. And yes, majority of it will be Tesla. It's just majority of the people don't know much about Teslas, and yes, maybe the infrastructure and ecosystem is not completely everywhere yet for Hertz to be completely all in on EVs at the moment, but eventually this is going to happen. And to shed more light onto this Hertz fact, shout out to Barbara for posting this on X on why Hertz is ready to sell them. Most rental companies keep cars in their fleet for 1 to 2 years before selling them to make room for new inventory with fewer miles on the odometer. That time has come for some of Hertz's early Tesla purchases, with the Hertz website listing over 800 Model 3 and Y vehicles for sale across the United States. Despite also having Tesla inventory in Canada, there are unfortunately no listing yet for cars north of the border. So it's just a US thing. They bought a lot for that inventory and they're just trying to sell them to replenish them with new vehicles, maybe gas powered for now, but later it's going to be EVs. 100%, no doubt about that. So this bad news that Hertz is selling their Teslas is not what you think. It's just standard practice and demand and supply, and that is all. Now talking about the Tesla Model 3, finally the refresh version has been launched in North America. And here's the cool thing, the price is the same price as the old Model 3. So that is amazing, no price increases, but take a look at the improvements on that. Like, shout out to Sawyer Merritt for this. Y'all gotta pause for this to read it, because there's a lot of improvements and you're getting all that for the same price as the old Model 3? Can somebody please tell me a Model 3? Tesla, please come to Kuwait. I really want this Model 3 Highland or refresh, whatever they call it. I really want this vehicle. I know you guys are in Qatar right now. I mean, superchargers are coming. I see that, and I see them popping up in Doha and all that kind of stuff. But come on, man, please come to Kuwait. I am a buyer. I am sold. I just don't have access to it here. I don't want to ship it across country if something's wrong with it. That's the only issue. So please come to Kuwait sooner than later. And the demand for this vehicle is insane. Look at that, Model 3 orders. If you order one right now, delivery estimate is between February and March compared to January and Feb. So people are ordering this. There is a lot of interest. I mean, heck, I am one of them, but I can't order it. Come on, Tesla, please come to Kuwait, please. Moving on to good news is now Tesla is increasing pay for their employees in the United States. They did do that in Berlin just a few months ago in 2023. So this is a good sign to see that there's a pay raise. So all this fun, all these people that going like, oh man, Tesla is doing really bad. Well, if they're doing really bad, why would they be increasing prices? Right? So this is a good sign. RIP Lucid, because their delivery numbers for Q4 and production numbers, I don't know how this company can survive the next year or two without Saudis pumping a whole lot of money into that company. Take a look at the number, guys. They only delivered 1,734 vehicles in Q4, down over 10% since last quarter, and production was down almost 32%. How? At this point, you should be scaling, man. What are you doing? This is not a good sign for Lucid, so good luck to them. Tesla suspends car production at Giga Berlin due to Red Sea conflict. This is because they're not getting the enough parts that they need, so they're shutting down for 2 weeks. I mean, this is gonna impact Q1 production and delivery numbers for sure, but since Berlin wasn't at capacity for Q4, and capacity was actually less than half than I thought, so it won't make that much of an impact, but it does leave an impact a little bit. Going from Berlin to Mexico, it looks like the earliest time that Tesla Giga Mexico can break ground is later this quarter, or the latest could be after June of 2024, which is extremely late, and this is because of elections. So I don't know what's going on in that country, but there's a massive delay in Tesla's Giga Mexico factory. That's not good either. So hopefully they can make this sooner than later, because we kind of need that factory to push the compact car at mass scale. I know Texas is they're doing it there, but we need a mass scale factory to be dedicated just for the compact car, because that's going to make the biggest difference in everything. Moving on to some good news now. The EV credit of $7,500 is now point of sale for Tesla. So this is a very good news, because now customers can get $7,500 off right there and there where they buy a Tesla or an EV vehicle, instead of waiting until end of the year to file it to get a rebate from the government. So this will actually help push sales for Tesla for customers that are having a hard time in this period because of high interest rates. Tesla Roadster is now rumored to be coming in 2024. I mean, Elon did say in Investor Day that they are thinking by end of 2024 to roll them out. So this is great news. Another great news is ARK keeps buying Tesla stock over and over again, and that is awesome. I think it's been a week or two now they keep buying, so that is a sheesh awesome moment. And speaking of ARK, Brett, he's saying that this month version 12 FSD is going to be rolled out to all Tesla customers who have beta, because it's still beta at the moment. I reckon a few more tests, or maybe halfway through the version 12, they'll make it unbeta for everyone to use, but let's see what happens. And this isn't confirmed either, so let's see what happens this month. But if this is true, that is very bullish. Rumor is Tesla India. Oh man, Tesla India is, or India and Tesla going back and forth. It's like a drama film, you know what I mean? One day they are mad at each other, then they're happy at each other, then they're all talking, then they all hate each other. It's crazy. But apparently there's a rumor going out now that Tesla is planning to invest $30 billion into that country over the next 5 years. This would include a new gigafactory, setting up the charging infrastructure, building a new vehicle that's cheaper than the compact car, which makes sense in their market. So let's see if this is a sheesh moment or not. This is still a rumor. So let's see. Let's see what happens. I'll be keeping a close eye on this. That's all the major news for today. There were some minor ones. For example, like Panasonic is building their third EV battery plant in the US. I mean, this will help Tesla supply with their 4680 batteries, no doubt. A new color for the Model Y called Satin Abyss Blue Wrap. If I butcher that, please, correct me. And a picture of the compact car, which a lot of comments were saying this is actually the Model Y, not the compact car. But I mean, the hood looks too steep to be a Model Y, but I don't know. This is going to Fremont, which I was kind of pulled off by it. If this is the compact car, it should go to Texas. Why is it going to Fremont? We're first going to start off with a strong 2024 in China of how many Teslas were insured. Week 1, week 2, we skipped it because I totally forgot about it. I know, sorry, my apologies. But here for week 1, we got a little over 3,000, and in week 2, almost 7,500. So if we compare it to Q4 of 2023, that's not bad. That's actually a strong start. So sheesh moment right there. Another mass invite for the Cybertruck, the Foundation series, has been sent out. I think this is the 10th time or the 9th time. At the same time, look at all that Cybertruck in Dublin, California. So definitely more Tesla deliveries when it comes to the Cybertruck, and this will help the average selling price. And eventually when they hit scale, we can see some margins being improved as well. And not to mention, once interest rates drop, that's going to really make the biggest difference. But the Cybertruck, 2 million pre-orders, that's serious. Now the thing with Tesla is that they love to smash records and even their own records. And that includes their own website. Apparently Tesla's website ranks second in customer satisfaction according to JD Power studies. So that is a sheesh, that is crazy. At the same time, the Tesla Model Y and 3 are the best-selling EVs in America. I mean, literally, number 1 is the Model Y, and number 2 is the Model 3. And the rest is just, I mean, either they're cutting production, or they're just not profitable, or they just can't scale. But I mean, this is old news, but now it's becoming official. And what is also becoming official is Tesla Model Y is officially Europe's best-selling car. Sheesh moment right there. So again, Tesla is smashing records across all boards while becoming more affordable in many countries, as what's happening in Europe as well. So the safest car, the most technological advanced car, and a car that's twice the price of a Corolla is becoming the world's most best-selling vehicle, the best satisfying vehicle, and counting and getting cheaper. So if that's not a sheesh moment, guys, then I have no idea what is. Now moving on to the news of the week, and this is by far the news of the week. And I've already made a separate video on this you guys can check out here, is Tesla, or Elon, released this video of the Tesla bot, which broke the internet. I think on his thing got like 70 million views, 75 million views and counting. So it broke the flipping internet. But then what came after is what really brought the FUD up and broke the internet in a bad way, is what Elon said regarding his compensation plan, that he needs 25% voting power. Otherwise, he doesn't want to make Tesla a leading AI or robotics company, and he's willing to make another company and put his new AI ideas on that company, which got the whole internet wild up. Mainstream media, FUD newsmakers, they all hopped onto this, and it was absolutely crazy. I made a separate video. You guys can check it out, card in the corner. But this broke the week. It was a crazy situation. The one good thing about this is that Elon does want a new compensation plan, meaning that he does want to stay in Tesla and he doesn't want to take anything out from it, which even if he wanted to, he couldn't, because it's the property of Tesla, not property of him. But this means that he does want to stay and continue making Tesla the world's leading AI company, with a compensation package. So that's a good sign, and the board will give it to him. I mean, it's a matter of when after this Delaware court ends. It's a matter of when at that time. But sheesh, this brought the stock even lower. This brought everybody so just full of FUD and scared, and they say, you know what, I'm done with Elon. It was an insane week. If you're still a long-term investor like I am, and you're going through all these things, kudos to you, man. It's getting tough, but I'm buying more. I'm happy. I mean, the stock needs to go down for a reason to buy at the cheap, right? I mean, no, when the stock is all-time high, it's sunshine and rainbows, right? That's not the time to buy it. The time to buy it is when there's blood on the streets, and there's a lot of blood on the street for Tesla. And this coming week, it's gonna be all. I'm gonna be buying a lot this week. That's all I'm gonna say. RIP Ultra Cruise. They just canceled that. The AI software, the full self-driving software that Cruise is working on. Yeah, they just canceled that, and they said they are refocusing on less capable Super Cruise, like just the normal stuff, like autopilot with Tesla right now, what they're going on, but not like what FSD is, which is quite interesting because everyone's saying LiDAR works, but I guess LiDAR is not really the answer to solving full self-driving. I wonder what company out there that is mass scaling their FSD collection, data collection, without LiDAR. If I only knew a company. Anyways, next up, the competition here is Mazda joined Tesla's supercharging network. Finally, look at this chart, guys. Everyone has joined it except the big dog Stellantis still hasn't. I don't know what they're doing. I mean, they came up with a van. Ram came up with a van, and that's part of Stellantis. So I don't know why they're not joining the supercharger network, because that's gonna benefit them. But slowly but surely, they will all. I mean, everyone's doing it. They kind of have to do it unless they want to stay behind. But this is a given. It's a matter of when, not if. Uber and Tesla recently made a deal together, and now it's coming to fruition. Uber steps up efforts to get drivers into Teslas by offering incentives up to $2,000 additional to an EV credit. So that is really good for Tesla. It gets more awareness for Tesla. So this is really, really good. You know, it's quite funny. We all think that Tesla's gonna bankrupt Uber with this full self-driving robotaxis, but they're actually partnering up. Uber is very smart. And you know what? I gotta give a shout out to the CEO of Uber, because he's Persian and I'm Persian. And I don't know, man, there's a little connection going on there, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, good thinking on his side, partnering up with Tesla. Because later on, you don't want this company to bankrupt you. So when you see it miles ahead, you know, we'll partner up with them. Maybe one day they'll buy us out. So let's see what's gonna happen. Speaking of awareness, Tesla's very clever when it comes to their marketing. First of all, they don't market at all. Advertisement is zero, and they're selling Teslas like hotcakes. But when they try to advertise, or when they try to do something that increases awareness, Uber was one of them, but this is another one. Tesla is enabling destination charging property owners to host self-serve demo drivers directly at their property. You guys can pause here and read what Sawyer Merritt concluded here. Shout out to him, by the way, too. But this is so clever, guys. This will increase awareness and help customers to be more aware and be more educated on EVs, which we kind of need that right now. We need people to know the prices are low. And we also need to know that operating an EV is cheaper, it's affordable than a gas car, and it's more reliant than a gas car. But most people don't see that, don't know that. So we need to have this education. I believe once the compact car comes in, I think things will be more educated. Tesla eventually, I think, will need to advertise, but not their vehicles, but they need to advertise why EVs are easier to operate, cheaper to operate, and just more reliant and durable than the gas car. We need to get the public to know this more, the masses. So eventually I think Tesla will do this. But this destination charging property owner thing, what they're doing here is absolutely very clever. This is amazing, incentivizing people to do it and getting them to talk more about Tesla to other people and getting them to sit in one and actually learn about the EVs. That's actually a really, really good idea. So very clever on Tesla's and on doing this. I give this a good cheese check. Speaking of advertisement, you gotta give a shout out to Ford here, because they just gave a free advertisement to Tesla. They are advertising the Ford Mach-E, I believe, and then at the end they say something about the Model Y, and it's just like, why even bring the Model Y? Like, I'm a viewer of that advertisement, and he talks about, oh wow, look, this is a nice Ford, this is a nice Mach-E, and the Model Y. Then he brings up the Model Y, and I'm like, what's a Model Y? Let me go search that up, and all of a sudden, oh, let me compare to this Mach-E. Oh my God, look at the prices. Well, thank you for shipping me to, or sending me to Tesla. This was such a bad Oh my god, that's hilarious. Anyways, thank you, Ford. Shout out to you. And it looks like you're cutting more of your F-150 Lightning, more of your production due to slower demand. I mean, if your truck is giving you or seeing that there's slower demand or lower demand for your truck, then why is Cybertruck's still at 2 million pre-order? I don't know, man. I don't think people want an F-150 Lightning anymore when there's a Cybertruck and when there's Tesla. Anyways, Ford, good luck to you, because I think you need it. On some groundbreaking news, Giga Nevada is now gonna be under production for their extension to make semis in high volume. Sheesh! Looks like they're getting a good response from Pejjy when they delivered them in December of 2022 to test out the production pilot that they're under. It looks like there's a good response, and now they're slowly getting ready for high volume for the semis. And that's gonna be crazy. That's gonna be a good. That's going to increase Tesla's average selling price, because each truck goes about, at the moment, maximum of 250,000. But if they hit scale, I think it'll be 150, 120,000. Essentially going back to what a gas semi costs, which will be between 70,000 to 150,000. And this is something that we're all been waiting for a long time. And Tesla did say it'll take 18 months for them to get the results, see what the analytics are, see what the problems are and the duration, and how they can make it better with Pejjy. And 18 months is going to end in May or June of this year. So for them to start breaking ground on this is already a good sign that this 18 months seems to be almost a promised timeline for them to see how they can make the semi better, so they can get ready for mass scale. And that's what it seems like is happening. So this is a sheesh moment. This is awesome. Tesla Energy. It's been a while that we had any Tesla Energy news, but Sandrata Clean Energy, I don't know if I butchered that name or not. Comment down below if I butchered that or not. But their construction just started to get ready when Tesla delivers about $500 million worth of energy storage. I know I've been saying sheesh a lot in this video, but this is also another sheesh. Mexico. We have some news coming out of Mexico. We do know that they're going to be slowly starting breaking ground for the Gigafactory for Mexico, maybe by end of this quarter or the latest end of next quarter. It's late. It's delayed. It sucks, but that's the reality of it. Tesla's starting to hire for positions in Mexico. So that's actually a really good sign. So things are slowly coming. It looks like by end of this quarter, they may start breaking ground if they're starting to hire now. So that seems to be a good idea. On some bad news, because obviously we can't keep talking about good news, is Tesla cuts Model Y prices in Europe once again. And that is not good. And it wasn't a little bit, it was like 7%, which if COGS were going down 7%, since the last price cut, which wasn't that far off, which is not realistic, by the way. I mean, that would have been okay, but I think COGS per each vehicle will go down maybe 1 or 2% this quarter. So definitely these cost prices are going to affect the Tesla stock going lower, because EPS gets shrunken down even more. But it's gonna be like this, unfortunately, until interest rates go down some way or not. So Tesla can slowly maintain it or even increase the prices once interest rates go lower, because more people have money in their pockets. They can afford the financing or leasing on a monthly basis. The reason why Tesla brought all these prices down since they increased these rates is because they can match what the financing was on a monthly basis back like 2 to 3 years ago, and they have achieved that. Once interest rate starts to drop, Tesla will probably need to, well, not probably, they probably need to increase prices so they can hit that same amount of monthly payment. Price cuts at the moment is not good, but it's good for their FSD so they can get more data collection. And when this gets solved, that's where the real money is at. And I've already made a video about this, but we'll get to that in a bit. But that's pretty much the major news. The minor news is, which is pretty interesting news, is that Cybertruck showcasing in China, and I mean, it doesn't mean they're going to be selling there, but it's being showcased all around there, which would be interesting to see if China allows Tesla to be the first pickup truck that they can sell ever in their whole history, because I don't think China allows pickup trucks. So if they can allow Cybertruck, that'll be a historical moment for China and for Tesla, which would be awesome. And other news is Thailand discovering 15 million tons of lithium. Remember, guys, 5 years ago when everyone was going like, yeah, we need to see lithium because, there's not enough lithium to make EVs. Now, all of a sudden, there's lithium in every single country on this planet. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of common sense. The more we look for these minerals, the more we're going to find. I mean, kind of common sense if you ask me. And this will happen with all the minerals and materials that we need. When we need it, we'll look for it, and the more we look for it, the more we're gonna find. You think we've discovered all the oil on the planet? There's a lot of oil to be found. We just stopped looking. I mean, the latest place was Guyana, and there's some other places that we found as well, but we're not looking as intensely as we were like decades ago because there's enough oil around the world. So minerals, materials, if you don't look for them, you're not gonna find them, and when you look for them, you're going to find them. It's just as simple as that. So 50 million tons of lithium found in Thailand. More EVs coming up. But that's what happened in week 3, guys. The biggest news was the Tesla bot, of course, and what Elon said about Tesla and his compensation package. That was just that took everyone surprise. It was a surprise, mother effer. So that was a sheesh moment. Week 4 of Tesla. Let's go. First things first, Tesla insurance number 11,700 for the past week, which is a 34% quarter over quarter, which is really good. We always want to go based on the previous quarter with these numbers because usually the previous quarter is a record. So this is really good number. The second highlight of this week has to be the release of version 12 to some customers, and the response and feedback seems to be phenomenal. If you guys know Hallmark's catalog on X or even on YouTube, he posts all these types of videos of the car driving, and it seems to be very, very smooth. And the cool thing about this thing is that there's no more codes anymore. It's all neural nets, which is like the AI sees and makes decisions based on what it sees. There's no more code saying that you have to follow this rule or that rule. It's all based on like a brain, an AI brain, if that's the best way I can say it, which is just absolutely a crazy moment, or maybe even a sheesh moment, because if you're teaching a brain to do that, eventually this thing is gonna get better than human driving. I mean, it already is, but then give it more data, give it more time, give it more training. I think we will be entering an age, I think at least within the next 5 years, maybe even sooner, within 3 years, that full self-driving is going to be a thing and the car is going to be driving all by itself. I did discuss this with Amit recently. You guys can check the video here. It was on his channel. It was an awesome time. Man, Amit is an awesome interviewer. He is an awesome guy to speak with. And the way he talks, man, the way he talks is so professional. So I got to give a big shout out to him. Check out that video too, and make sure you guys do subscribe to him. He's a really, really awesome guy to follow. But version 12, according to Elon Musk, to all 400,000 North American customers is going to happen within a few weeks. So that is a crazy moment. Now, I haven't made my full opinion on this version 12 yet. I do want to see it in other parts of the country first, because I know in San Francisco and in the west part of it, where there's a lot of FSD data and interaction, a lot of buzz there with FSD, I know there it does a better job than for say other parts of the United States. So let's see if this neural net is going to do really well in other parts of the United States, and if it does, boy oh boy, are we getting very close to this full self-driving thing. It's going to be flipping awesome. But this was the second biggest highlight. The first highlight, we gotta wait for that because there's some other news in between. Tesla to invest $500 million to install a Dojo supercomputer in Buffalo. The purpose of this is to process millions of terabytes of data from its EVs to improve safety and engineering for FSD. Again, supporting the version 12. And personally, someone like me who doesn't really understand Dojo and doesn't have this in the valuation, this seems to be very bullish, mainly for FSD. So that was interesting news. Tesla is going to enter Chile, the first South American location. This is awesome, and I do expect them to slowly move into the other countries in the South Americas, like Argentina, maybe Bolivia, eventually Brazil, and all those other countries there in South America, because that's an untapped market for Tesla. That's going to be a good place for them to grow. Tesla releases their second generation of the Mega Pack, which has 10 cabinets versus 8, so I guess there's more storage now. And talking about Mega Packs, check out these 326 megapacks, 500 million worth spotted in Lathrop, about to be exported. So that is a sheesh moment. Now we're going to the highlighted news of the week, and that has to be obviously Q4 earnings. Now by now we all know that Tesla missed on pretty much everything except for maybe EPS gap, because they had a tax benefit here. But the total earnings report wasn't really that bad. But nonetheless, the earnings call was terrible compared to the analysts. They didn't get what they wanted. And now the stock is down like 15%, almost 20%. Well, maybe not 20%, but it's down, a lot since then. And I already have my full thoughts in this video over here. The good, the bad, and the ugly bombshells that Elon Musk dropped, and as well as what the earnings report was that you probably missed. But It's worth checking out. But the biggest takeaway here from the earnings call was the compact car is going to be produced sometime in the second half of 2025, so next year. And Elon did say near the end of it. And the bot first shipment is going to be in 2025 as well. Now, my theory is that they're going to be shipping these bots, prototype bots, pilot production bots to the Gigafactory in Mexico, because they did mention about having some parts of robots, some parts of humans. So that's going to be very interesting what that's going to be. But the stock did dip 15-16%. But look who bought. Obviously I bought. If you guys are following me on X, I bought a lot of shares and I am planning to buy more this week. I'm pretty excited for that. But ARK also bought the dip, about $65 million worth in the last 2 days. I guess they couldn't say no either. Moving on to the Cybertruck, and the Cybertruck has made its way to China for showcasing it around the country, and look at the buzz. The halo effect for sure is happening here. I can already imagine Chinese customers going onto the Tesla websites or the app or whatever and looking at other models, 3Y, and learning more about EVs and such. So that was a crazy sheesh moment. And as well as the Cybertruck is not going to be sold in China because they don't do pickups. But long time ago, which was in Tesla Investor Day last year, Tom Zhu said that they're looking to have a special vehicle just for the Chinese market. Could it be something similar to the Cybertruck but smaller and not a truck? That is something to think about. Tesla Semi. Guys, we should not be sleeping on Tesla Semi because I do think later this year there's going to be some interesting things happening. First off, shout out to Tesla Boomer Mama. 86 job posting Tesla has put out for the Tesla Semi. At the same time, Giga Nevada has been breaking ground where they make 4680 batteries as well as more Tesla Semis on scale. So when you put 2 and 2 together, it looks like it's going to be inevitable that sometime during this year, we're going to be seeing the start, I guess you could say, of mass production of the Semi. So that's something to look forward to, and that's something that I'm really going to look forward to. And as well as, shout out to CNN. Shout out to CNN because they were talking about the Semi truck, pretty much giving them a free advertisement in this video over here. And according to Amanda, who was speaking here, said that there's 500 miles on a single charge. So when there's 2 drivers and 1 truck, that's almost 1,100 miles driven daily. And just the amount of views that this is going to get because of CNN, this is pretty much free advertisement. So Tesla's really good in getting these free advertisements, man. There's no other legacy automaker or even EV company that's getting these free advertisements. It's just Tesla, which is absolutely insane. What else is insane is that the CEO of Toyota comes out and says that EV will only reach 30% of total automotive market share. And I'm reading this and I'm just like, you do know that China is pretty much at the 30% and EVs are roaring there. I don't think they're going to be stopping at 30%. But I replied to this on X. If you guys aren't following me on X, and I don't know what you guys are doing, but I replied to this saying that, tell me you want to bankrupt Toyota without telling me you want to bankrupt Toyota. Because the future is EVs. I don't care what anybody says. The data shows it. It's there. The metrics are there, the numbers are there, the future is EVs. Now, whether it's gonna take 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, whatever, the future is EVs. And if you bet against that, I don't know, man. I don't know that's gonna be a good idea. Moving on to Mexico, we've got a country manager for Tesla here, Teresa Gatarahi Smith, if I didn't butcher that name, but she is going to be the country manager for Tesla in Mexico. So things are starting there with Gigafactory Mexico, so that's very exciting. Apple. I don't even know why they're even trying this. I think they're just wasting money on R&D, but they just delayed their EV from 2026 to 2028. And it's just like, you've been working on this for 13 years, 14 years, 12 years, somewhere around there. And it shouldn't take this long for a tech company like Apple. But then again, Apple is not into the cars. I mean, it's not easy to make EVs. Prototypes are easy, production is hard. And I guess for them making a prototype, that's even hard. I don't know. If I was Apple, I wouldn't really go towards the EV market because it's just a whole different ball game. I would just stay within my tech and get innovative there because they haven't been innovative in a long time. So Apple, man, I would say just to stop with the EVs. I mean, by 2028, Tesla's gonna probably be selling almost 7 to 8 million EVs globally. So I don't know. That's what you're going to do, Apple. That's what you're going to do. Model 3 refresh is in high demand. Crazy demand, actually. The time just got pushed back even more to March, April, from February to March, just recently, which is just insane. Here's the thing, guys. I'm in Kuwait, and I am sold of the Model 3 refresh. Problem is, I can't get it here, unfortunately. And come on, Tesla, if you guys are watching this, please come to Kuwait. Please come to Kuwait. Just yesterday I saw a Model 3 and the day before that I saw a Model X. People are coming here. People are importing the vehicle. Just come here. Just come here. Dude, come on. I really want my next vehicle to be a Tesla. Come on. Speaking of the Model 3, the Model Y is officially the best-selling vehicle of 2023, beating the RAV4 and the Corolla. If that is not a sheesh moment, the freaking car is double the price of a Corolla, and it's just the best-selling vehicle, not best-selling EV, best-selling vehicle in the world. Imagine when the compact car comes out. Yeah, it's gonna be a very interesting time. Moving on to Ron Barron's son, which is David Barron. He believes that Tesla stock will be worth around $1,200 per share by 2030. But Ron Barron himself is saying it could be worth $1,500. And my prediction is by 2030, my base case $1,500, my bull case is upwards of $2,000, and ARC by 2027 is $2,000. So I think it's realistic to be between the thousands in 2030, unless Robotaxi and FSD come and they slap us in the face like surprise, motherfucker. Well, then maybe I can see over 2,000 there. But again, we're human beings. We can't see exponential growth like that. So that's why we're staying conservative and staying around these. And that is a good number. Like if Tesla stock is $1,200 by 2030, that's about a 7 to 8x from now, a sheesh moment. And that's pretty much all the major news, guys. There were some minor news, like for example, Ford and GM vehicles will gain access to more than 12,000 Tesla superchargers in North America. So Tesla will benefit from their services here, and the acceleration to sustainable energy is going to be more accelerated now. The bot progressing like crazy. Check out the picture, September 22, and then March 2023, and then December 2023. Just look how different it looks, and even just in how it moves and what it does. It's just insane how fast these guys are going. Again, Tesla's saying that this first shipment 2025. I mean, Elon is saying, and of course, Elon time is always wrong. But I do think if that's what he means, it's 100% for the Gigafactory in Mexico. The other minor thing here, which is quite funny actually, is the Sweden union chair who wanted to drive Tesla out of Sweden steps down. I guess it didn't work out for him. And we also got the plant sizes here, which is, I mean, it's not much of a news, but just look at the potential of what Tesla is. Look at all the other lands and look at Shanghai size. Shanghai, they're doing 1 million production a year with that small size. Imagine Mexico, imagine Texas. Just look at the other ones. Look at Nevada. Like, this is why I think Tesla will eventually hit 20 million vehicles, but not by 2030. Maybe mid 2030s for sure, but I do believe they will actually do it. I mean, just look at the amount of land and the efficiency. Again, Shanghai, it's that small, and they're doing 1 million. So I wouldn't bet against Tesla, man. Long term, I wouldn't bet against Tesla. But that is all the news for week 4, which is pretty much almost all of January. We have 3 more days until then, but that's going to be covered in week 5. So that was a very interesting week, especially with the Q4 and the version 12. Those are the main things that I'm really interested to see what Q1 of 2024 is going to look like, and how version 12 is going to be rolling out, because version 12 seems to be a catalyst, and if it's really smooth across all 400,000 North American FSD customers, then there's no reason why Tesla won't make it beta anymore, and that's extremely bullish for Tesla. Extremely bullish for Tesla. That is insane. There was also another news that apparently that in Europe next year, we're going to be seeing FSD beta there. But that's rumors. I don't want to bring this up now, but there is some talks going for that as well. But that was week 4, guys. That was week 4. Can we please get 550 likes? I would really appreciate it. It would mean the world to me. And if you guys are woojacking, if you guys know woojack, then you guys know this reference about Tesla stock, because Tesla is down like 15% since earnings. Well, how low can it go? Here's my prediction. Obviously, not financial advice, just my thoughts and how low it's gonna go and what my plan is. So check it out here. You all won't be disappointed. Guys, get your I Bought the Dip t-shirt, because guys, I am buying this dip. Are you? Comment down below. Subscribe, and I shall see you guys in the next video. See ya.